A lot of us have spent a lot of time at home over the last year or two. I'm Erin from TechGadgetsCanada.com, and first off, thank you for clicking on this video. I know quite a few folks out there who finally had the time and the extra cash to upgrade to a 4K TV. And if you're shopping around for one, you might be wondering about the LG C1 OLED 4K TV here. In this review, I'll look at what OLED TV is and why it's supposed to be so great, how well I think this TV performs, how its internal speaker sounds, and how some of its special features like art or gallery mode hold up. I'll also talk about the gallery stand, which is an add-on feature to this television. And really heads up, if you end up liking this video and finding it helpful, to please hit that like button and do consider subscribing. It does help me keep making more videos that I hope everyone out there gets to watch, enjoy, and learn from.
Let's get our first look at the 55-inch LG C1 OLED TV. LG markets it as combining style, performance, and usability into what it says is a must-have TV. The C1 has a bezel-free design with just a few millimeters between the edge of the display and the picture itself. This means all you see is picture and it fills your field of view.
The TV does come with a small silver stand, which you can use if you opt not to upgrade or wall mount it or put it on the gallery stand here.
The LG gallery stand is sold separately from the TV. Here it's meant to create a more elegant look since the TV is basically freestanding, anchored only on a single post with 3 wide legs. There is supposed to be cable management built into this stand, but kind of comically, the cable is far too short to run out the legs and still make it to a wall outlet.
The stand also comes with a bracket to hold small peripherals too, if you want to use that. Since we're on the topic here, I'll finish up my thoughts about the stand overall. It's easy to set up. I think it looks really good, but it does have a few downsides.
For starters, that footprint is very wide. In order to keep the TV from face planting, the base has to be wide, and this measures about 4 feet across at its widest. So you do need a dedicated space where it's not going to get tripped on. No small task in my living room. The other factor that will be a deal breaker for many is that you can't add a soundbar to this stand. Here you'll only be able to rely on the TV's internal speakers, or you'll need another solution for your home theater audio. Since we're on that topic, the sound from the internal speakers is actually pretty good. Even so, in my opinion, you're not buying a TV like this and putting it on a stand like this to get audio that's just pretty good.
I always advocate for a soundbar with a high-resolution 4K TV, and with this showpiece, in my opinion, you really need one. But since that's not an option in this configuration, I can simply say that the sound is good, and a lot of folks will probably be just fine with it.
How much? Half.
The speakers are downward firing under the front side of the TV, so it's a challenge getting audio to the viewer. I did notice that on some dialogue-heavy shows, I needed to crank it to about level 60 to be able to hear it clearly.
The C1 TV here has AI sound, which supposedly upscales the audio and separates the voice from the background noise for better, clearer sound. But I didn't personally notice anything about using that feature that really wowed me.
On the hardware side, the LG C1 has 4 HDMI ports that'll support 4K input and 3 USB ports plus an RF tuner and an optical digital audio output.
The TV supports Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth. It also has a coaxial cable connector and an Ethernet port.
The TV screen is thinner than most smartphones. It's insanely thin. It does, though, have a larger housing towards the base of the screen, which I guess helps weigh down the TV and prevent it from tipping over. If it bothers you to have a big black screen in the room when you're not using your TV, LG C1 has gallery mode, which is a setting that shows artwork and pictures and photography, all stored on LG's servers. The system will change the picture up periodically, seemingly to avoid any image burn-in on the screen while displaying those works of art.
I love the concept of gallery mode, but in my opinion, LG doesn't quite get it right. You can't choose just one picture to keep up at all times. You have to rotate through them all, and you can't even seem to narrow down the choices to a handful of options or styles that fit with your room. It seems to be the whole library or nothing. Unlike something like a Samsung frame TV, for example, you also can't customize any of the frames or the edges or the works of art. What LG gives you here is all that you get. Also, and you're seeing it here, because each picture goes to black before it changes, there's really no pretending this is a painting. It's an obvious TV, and the fading to black for me actually seems to draw the eye even more, making it pretty distracting.
I also couldn't see that there was any way to upload your own photos or artwork if you wanted to.
Overall, if I were to add this LG TV to my living room, a big reason I'd want it is for the gallery mode's ability to kind of make it disappear. But since it's so limited in its customization, I think this alone would make it a deal breaker for me personally.
If you're not buying your TV to hide in plain sight, gallery mode will be less of a downside for you. So let's dig in on what's truly important, and that's the video picture. This is an OLED TV, and OLED stands for Organic Light Emitting Diode.
Light-emitting diodes are actually tiny electrically conductive nibs made of crystals suspended in liquid between two really thin sheets of material, often glass or flexible plastic. An electric current will pass through the liquid crystals, and that gets the crystals to line up so that light either does or does not filter through them. In the LG C1 OLED TV here, there are self-lit, or these are self-lit pixels. Unlike LED or LCD TVs with bigger backlight technology, LG OLED TVs are capable of extreme realism, according to LG, and as you can see, a much thinner design.
Overall, the video is stunning. It's sharp, clear, colorful, and detailed. It has LG's perfect black technology too, which gives it great contrast, and the colors can be intense on the right shows thanks to HDR technology. Watching darker movies on this was a treat because you can really see the detail in the shadows, and nature shows don't even get me started. While I only had the TV for a few days, everything I watched from movies to TV looked outstanding. With this TV and its video picture, I did run into a rather bizarre problem where anytime I'd turn the TV on, it would boot up with static. The default choice for this TV appears to be to turn on and default to a cable input. Since I don't have cable, there's nothing to connect to it. I thought it would simply be a matter of switching the input so the TV would boot up to an unused HDMI port, but that didn't work either. It took me forever to finally figure this out, and it's a bit of a process. So if you're having this problem and you want to see how to fix it, watch the how-to video, which I'm going to make sure is linked up here.
LG is also marketing this TV heavily to gamers. There's a new game optimizer setting built in, allowing you to get more optimal video from your choice of video games. The C1 can handle 4K video at 120 hertz, meaning you should see less motion blur, more realism, and overall have a smoother playing experience. The TV is also NVIDIA G-Sync compatible.
LG TV's operating system is known as WebOS, and for you and me, this just means how we're going to interact with the screen, including the menus and the shortcuts. For the most part, WebOS works really well and everything is within easy reach. The LG C1 also comes with the Magic Remote, allowing you to control screen commands by waving the remote, somewhat like a Wii controller, if you remember that. It also allows you to use the directional buttons to navigate, and it has a scroll wheel too. The remote contains a microphone for easy voice searches, and there are also buttons and underlying support for Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa. I should also note that you can also control the TV with LG's app, which is essentially a remote control on your smartphone.
Overall, I have mixed feelings about this TV. Let's get to the pros.
The screen is out of this world realistic. It's big, it has almost no bezel, the picture is sharp, colorful, and ultra clear. Watching TV and movies on it is an absolute joy, and there is no fault I can find with the video experience. Where my mixed feelings come in is with the extras. Gallery mode feels like an afterthought, and that you're stuck with a factory screensaver type option, and that you can't customize it. Overall, it's a huge disappointment. The gallery stand looks really good, but in my opinion, it's too big for all but the most spacious homes, and the fact that it can't take a soundbar is a problem for a lot of serious viewers or audiophiles. The static on startup and the fact that you can't get rid of the error message telling you that you have no cable mars the rest of the user experience too.
In my experience, the LG C1 TV is best used on a stand or wall-mounted with a sound bar and a cable TV hookup, by the way. So if you're looking for a TV with great screen quality and you've got a cable box to connect to it, this is the TV for you. If you want a bunch of other bells, whistles, settings, and customization options, and you don't have a cable box and you're hoping to rely on streaming and you don't want static or error messages all over the beautiful screen, you might be better off to keep looking. The LG C1 4K OLED TV sells for about $1,899 Canadian dollars for the 48-inch size, and it goes up from there. If you want to read this review or reference any of what I've talked about, head over to techgadgetscanada.com where I've got a full write-up. You can ask me any questions you have about this TV, either there on the blog or, as always, here on the YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Erin. Until the next time, you can find me on either Twitter or Instagram. I'm at Erin LYYC. You can also always reach me through Facebook at facebook.com/techgadgetscanada.